Hi, it's Jonny, the occasional Fast Bikes magazine snapper, continuing my attempt at a video blog with this here GSX-S1000F A. Last time I went to JHS Racing for a static suspension setup, and then didn't go for a ride on my old B roads to see what the changes might have achieved. 20 years ago I tried to learn sporty riding on an old FZR 400 on these roads. They suited each other perfectly, but I didn't suit either of them, and like any love triangle it ended in disaster, but more on that another time. Back to the 1000F, well on roads like these it's a bit too much engine, but guess what, you don't have to use all of it, and apart from the issue with the throttle it is very much at home. The suspension setup from JHS makes it feel a bit sporty while staying all day comfortable, which I didn't even know was possible. On my comparison bumpy road, right here, it was borderline unbearable on stock settings, in terms of comfort that is, but now it's just fine at, shall we say, cruising speed. But as happy as the F is to cruise around, and as pleasant as that is, I need to see what it's like pushing on a bit. Also, I want to explore more of that engine, and I'm even more curious because of its traction control, which to me means I get to ride like more of a tit but with less danger. I've noticed the traction control light flashing quite a lot, but I don't want to die on the road just yet. So I've come here, to Castle Combe, and it's really slippy. Perfect. Except strangely not. On the gas it feels like there's loads of grip, the traction control isn't kicking in, but in the turns the front feels like there's no grip. I was a bit baffled, and as Al Fagan was there, I began by asking him, what's your advice for these conditions?
I think it sounds obvious, and this might be the best advice for a damp track, but it's be smooth. Don't hit any of the white lines.
Right.
And don't brake too hard.
Don't brake too hard?
No.
That's interesting, because I'm quite happy braking in a straight line. It feels fairly grippy like that.
Yeah, I mean it's quite dry out there now, isn't it?
It's drying.
Drying.
Bits of it are a little bit damp still.
Yeah. I mean, it's really difficult to say feel for grip, but obviously the lighter patches of tarmac look inviting, don't they? They look lovely, especially when you cross over a nice damp patch. So, what else is there?
These are saying motocross. If you go looking for grip, you'll probably find it. Does that apply?
No, certainly not here, no.
Okay.
No.
And what's your top tip, generally, for Castle Combe, the incredibly fast and slightly scary track, which is our local track?
Close your eyes and twist the throttle.
Thanks, Al. Okay, let's have a go at that. Now it's dried out, I can use the power and put the traction control on setting 2, see what's what. Here's the thing though, I never trouble it by winding the throttle on, not at all, so there must be a lot more grip than I think there is. What gets the light blinking is taking the fast kinks while already on the power, which at Combe is into 3 figures. So I was right not to try playing with it on the Queen's Highway, but wrong in the way that I thought traction control would help me. Now I have taken the F on track before on its stock settings, more on that in probably episode 4. It was alright, but as my pace increased it kind of wallowed a bit on the big undulations. Castle Combe also has a couple of fast whoopy bits, but now they were completely under control, so I'd have to say that JHS James's extra clicks on the damping, both ways, have sorted that right out. I am liking the 1000F a lot more after all that, but it's track time that I want now. You might have noticed I barely took it above 10,000 revs, and I don't recall getting the throttle against the stop. It's a really fun bike on the circuit, it's easy to ride, and the pegs and bars make a riding position that's fine for knee down and easier on your back and wrists than a super sporty bike. Anyway, we've made a bit of progress, it's a likeable bike. Next time I'm going to find out if fitting some aftermarket bits and bobs helps me start to love it. I'm not on Facebook, but here's my email address.